the most famous monster trucks in the world in side-by-side car crushing.
Chevrolet truck, very proud. The truck of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Brown, Big Ladies and gentlemen, Earl Jagged, Crawford, out of Hudson, Florida.
Now they'll race side by side, but first of all they qualify. And in time trials, it's solo, one at a time. Here they are, the monster trucks.
Out of Columbia City, Indiana.
And now in qualifying for the monster trucks, the first one down to 225 feet of dirt is Nightmare Steve Hess from Columbia City, Indiana, in the 1989 Chevrolet, a 510 cubic inch Braun Chevrolet engine. These are single passes in first round qualifying for the monster truck. And here comes Nightmare, a qualifying run. The flashbulbs ignite the Thunderdome here in downtown Indianapolis. He almost is over, up on the right side, keeps his foot in it, and comes to a stop at the end of the run. Almost rolled it over. It was driver's side up.
Chevrolet fans, let's give Steve Hess a big hand. Nightmare! Here we are in lane one. Here he is. Getting ready to come out right now. Scott Hess, ladies and gentlemen, first one.
The 540 cubic inch 1989 Chevrolet again off to the side. All these drivers having trouble keeping all four wheels on top.
Your leader is Barefoot with a 6.19. Barefoot with a 6.19 your leader. All right, here we go on lane number 2, Hercules.
Here's Hercules, the 1989 Chevrolet 454. Tim Tesler from Avon, Ohio. Over the first set of cars, he approaches second. He's in trouble. Tim is in trouble. There's a gap between that first and second car as they make the pass, and he has trouble. The first time in the truck in this type of competition. Tim says he's had the truck for some 8 months, but the first time in competition this evening, and he has a problem.
Let's give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Hercules! Fans have I got here tonight? One time, Ford fans! Here he is, the man from the Sunshine State of Florida, Thumper!
16-year-old Clint Daggett looks down 225 feet of dirt, and junk cars, hang on, Clint! He keeps his foot in it. Using 484 cubic inches, nails the hammer again. The pipe bolts explode, and here comes Clint.
Let's give a big hand, Ford fans! Bumper 2!
glass in the cockpit. This is the truck of the 90s. The two-frame construction, the only truck of its kind. It utilizes nitrous shocks, no springs on this one. It's a much lighter monster truck, weighs in at about 10,000 pounds. Designer and builder Bob Chandler says it's driver-friendly. And look at Andy Brass on the hammer. Look at the air under Bigfoot 8. 50,000 fans erupt in cheers for Bigfoot 8.
5.32. Ford fans, one time. Let's hear it for Bigfoot. All you Ford fans, let's hear it. Number one. All right. Chevrolet fans, here he is. Bob Homer, the Beast. He's tough. He's Chevrolet tough. Here he comes. Right now. In the number 2 lane. He's getting ready to do time right now. There he comes. Hang on, Bob Homer. Here he comes. Man alive. Let's give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. The Beast, Bob Homer.
Now setting up for his run down the dirt and the crushed cars is Heartbeat, the 1989 Chevy. This is Fred Engelman from Lowell, Michigan. This truck was built by the owner of the Hemi Underglass Dragster. It features a 431 cubic inch big block Chevrolet. All these monster trucks turn out around 1,000 horsepower. Chevrolet has some trouble coming off that first set of cars. Has trouble negotiating the second set, and that will not be quick enough. The best in time turned in by Andy Brass and Bigfoot at 5.32.
The Heartbeat of America, Fred Engelman. Monster truck. Fred Engelman. Gary Bauer, ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the Lone Ranger.
A six-year veteran, here he is, down to that second set of cars. But once again, not fast enough to better Bigfoot's time of 5.32. Well, the Ford fans are in heaven right now because the monster truck with the fastest time in qualifying, Andy Brass in Bigfoot at 5.32. We'll see more of them a bit later. But right now, we'll take this break and come back with 4x4 modified pulling competition. Welcome back to the Hoosier Dome. We are ready now for modified 4x4 pulling competition. These trucks must weigh less than 6,250 pounds, but basically anything goes under the hood. They are pulling the sleds that weigh up to 35,000 pounds. Now, if everyone makes a full pull, we will go by the time. The fastest time will win. We'll have 2 rounds of competition.
Side-by-side drags here in the Thunderdome. We want to thank you folks for coming out and being with us here tonight. Seeing a show of the future right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a show of the future. Once again, pull-in fans, side-by-side drags right here at the Thunderdome here in Indianapolis. It used to be called the Hoosier Dome, and we're going to blow the top off this little jewel tonight. No doubt about it.
Being staged, a beautiful 1987 El Camino Chevrolet with 615 cubic inches. It's Small Change, Robert Minnick out of Winchester, Virginia. He'll go side by side with Old Glory, the 89 Chevy of Joe Gilbert out of Gaines, Michigan. And Old Glory features 572 cubic inches. Here they are, side by side, 225 feet of Hoosier Plain. It's going to be Small Change, Robert Minnick takes the full pull, as does Old Glory, but Small Change is the fastest over the finish line. So Small Change wins that one.
All right, Cone AWOL, Gene a 68 Jeep, 612 cubic inches out of Derry, Pennsylvania.
Now staging the Stubborn Mule, the 88 GMC, is Tom Bim from Glencarry, West Virginia. 540 cubic inch Chevy engine. And in the near lane, Gone AWOL with Gene Fanny. Gene driving a 68 Jeep from Derry, Pennsylvania. It's powered by a 612 cubic inch Chevy engine. They're hooked up to the sled. They are staged, and here they come. We can hear the RPM pick up, the horsepower turning up this Indiana clay. Stubborn Mule with a good quick run down the dirt. A little slower, but a full pull for Gone AWOL.
Let's give a big hand to Stubborn Mule, ladies and gentlemen. What about it? I'm talking about running wide open. That young man was. Yes, sir.
In lane one, the mind-boggler, Dan Harbor out of Columbia City, Indiana, the 640 cubic inch 1968 Chevrolet alongside the first lady pulling. This is a NASA Challenger, Pat Dukes, the 89 Ford out of Freeport, Illinois. Now, Pat, of course, is the wife of Dan Dukes, who drives the Bigfoot Fast Track. Here they are, side by side, pulling in the Hoosier Dome, and it's mind-boggler first across the line, and there is Pat Dukes. Here's the time, not quite fast enough. It's a good one, though. The mind-boggler at 9.97. 9.97. That is third quick time so far this evening.
Yeah, tough. All right, we got the Blue Max out. Blue Max, number 2. Young man coming to you out of New Richmond, Ohio. Out of the Buckeye state of Ohio. Rob Benton, he's tough. And James Hamilton, Gone Bananas. Out of Bardstown, Kentucky, they get their RPM built up right now. Watch your light. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The Thunderdome, side by side. Watch that Chevrolet go against the Dodge. They're on. Watch them go. Hammer down.
Oh, a problem for the Blue Max 2. Engine troubles for Blue Max 2. Here's the time for Gone Bananas, a good one, but not nearly fast enough at 10.42. So that will put him well down in about 4th or 5th position right now. 10.42 for Gone Bananas. James Hamilton out of Bardstown, Kentucky. Some of these 700, 800 horsepower, 500 and 600 cubic inches. In the far lane, the Virginia General, a 68 Chevrolet out of Warrenton, Virginia. This is Lauren Dingus as the side-by-side pulling continues. He sports a 572 cubic inch engine. He is underway alongside Rags to Riches, Don Grant, the 89 Dodge out of Greenwood, Indiana, in a 604 cubic inch Keith Black engine. And it's going to be Rags to Riches. Did he make the full pull? Apparently not. Oh, neither one of these drivers made the full pull. They'll have to measure them, but neither one made the full pull. Rags to Riches. The black 89 Dodge of Don Grant out of nearby Greenwood, Indiana. The Virginia General has come a long way from Virginia. Lauren Dingus with his 68 Chevy, but neither one could pull off the full pull.
All right. Perpetual Motion, Harry Donkiel, driving a 1986 Ford Ranger. 514 cubic inch. Comes to you out of Laurel, Indiana. This young man is tough. I'm going to tell you right now, he'll be tough.
And now lining up in the far lane, the 1986 Ford Ranger from Lowell, Indiana. This is Perpetual Motion with Harry DeCooley. Harry DeCooley pulls down to 225 feet of dirt. It's a full pull. Perpetual Motion makes a full pull, 35,000 pounds, and he makes it look easy with his 500 614 cubic inch Ford engine. Out of Huntsville, Michigan, he has the 1964 Chevy with 604 cubic inches. And now staging in lane number 1, this is Hang Loose, Dave Seeger from Cedarsburg, Wisconsin, an 89 GMC. He has the 482 Chevy engine. Hang Loose in lane 1, Fool's Gold in lane 2. But still, the first one down the lane has been the quickest. That was Perpetual Emotion. Here they come. Late in round 1, all the drivers having some difficulty making the full pull. Hang Loose, it is a full pull. And it looks like a full pull for Fool's Gold, but neither one was particularly fast. So neither one of these drivers will have a chance now in the first round to move into the top 3. As the ground crew continues to work on each lane after each pull, but the lanes may not be as good as they were early in this round. The quick one so far is still the Perpetual Motion, Harry DeCoolil. Second quick right now is that small change El Camino of Robert Minnick at 9.91, and third quick is the Mind Boggler 68 Chevrolet of Dan Harbor at 9.97. Already staged and ready to go in lane 1, the Blue Chip Express Frank Fisher from Amelia, Ohio. Listen to this. An 88 Ford, it sports a 737 cubic inch Aries engine. And alongside now staging the Charles Little Angel 88 Ford out of Clifford, Michigan. This is Charlie Beetle under the hood. 604 cubic inches of Ford power. Green lights are on. Both trucks have staged. They pick up the throttle. The RPM's rev, and here they come. Smoke belching from the stack. A full pull for Frank Fisher. A full pull for Charlie Beetle. But again, when they make a full pull, they have to go by the time. Staging now in the far lane, lane number 1, Tim Gilbert in the Motown Missile out of Gaines, Michigan. 572 cubic inch 1980 Chevrolet. In lane 2, Fred Hyday out of Noblesville, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis, in the Battle Taxi. It's a 1974, powered by a 640 cubic inch engine. Almost anything goes under the hood, as long as they weigh no more than 6,250 pounds. Modified four-wheel drive truck competition side by side here in the Hoosier Dome. Green light on both the sleds. They have been staged. Everything is ready. They check their gauges from the cockpit. The Battle Taxi of Fred Hyday. The Motown Missile of Tim Gilbert. Gilbert gets the whole shot coming out. And Gilbert now has the advantage. Now we'll go by time if he can make the full pull. Tim Gilbert in the Motown Missile. Fred Hyday and the Battle Taxi. A good run for Tim Gilbert out of Gaines, Michigan in the 1980 Chevy Motown Missile, but apparently not fast enough to move into the top 3 position in round 1. Here now is your final pairing for round number 1. The Super Ford in lane 1. That is Joe Smolik out of North Judson, Indiana. He is staging a 1988 Ford Ranger with 741 cubic inches. Down there now in the 89 Dodge minivan is Jerry Carlton driving Enterprise, 705 cubic inches out of the state of Ohio. So we have a Buckeye against a Hoosier. The Super Ford, Joe Smolik in lane 1. The Enterprise, Jerry Carlton, lane 2. Super Ford getting a good jump and a good ride. Turns up the Indiana dirt, a full pull.
Let's give him a big hand. What about it, ladies and gentlemen? Super Ford is the Enterprise. Jerry Carlton making a fine run right there.
Well, that concludes round one, and after the first round, Perpetual Motion is the fastest with a run of 9.65. Second quick is Small Change at 9.91, and third quick right now is Mind Boggler, and his time was 9.97. We have a lot more coming your way from the Hoosier Dome, so stay with us. Welcome back to the Hoosier Dome in downtown Indianapolis. Tonight, these fans call it the Thunderdome. We are ready for monster truck competition. To answer the question, can anybody beat Bigfoot 8? This is the monster truck of the 90s. It's fast in qualifying, but now it is first round elimination in monster truck competition.
The Lone Ranger was 11.02. The Lone Ranger, Jerry Bauer. All right, here he comes. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Brass. In the truck of the 90s, ladies and gentlemen, Bigfoot 8, Andy Brass. Getting ready to come out right now. He's tough. He's Bigfoot tough. Yeah, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lone Ranger, Jerry Bauer. He's tough. Watch this. This Bigfoot built on a tubular frame. He's got 2 foot of travel. 2 foot.
Side by side, car crushing, drag racing competition. Look at Andy Brass and Bigfoot on the right. The truck of the 90s. Here comes the Lone Ranger. Oh, an engine drop to the Lone Ranger. Andy Brass climbs on the brakes to prevent from hitting the wall here. There is Jerry Bauer in the Lone Ranger. He had some trouble early on, but never say die. He completes the run.
Here he comes. He's tough. Andy Brass. Bigfoot tough. Right there. Andy Brass. Bigfoot 6.60. 6.60. What about Bigfoot 8? Is it a lot different than driving one of the standard trucks?
Yes, this one is. You know, we got a lot more suspension travel, and as you can see it out here, the truck's performing a lot better. It's landing a lot better and handling a lot better than most of the regular suspension trucks.
You had to really get on them brakes that on the end.
Yeah, it does. You know, the wall's coming up pretty close, you know, and it's starting to scare us a little bit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give Andy Brass another big hand. What about him? Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Brass. He's tough. He's tough. Driving Bigfoot 8. All right.
In the far lane, it's Barefoot with Scott Hess, the 89 Chevy. And in the near lane, Holman's Beast, the 89 Chevy, driven by Bob Holman.
Here he comes the line right now. The young man from the Buckeye State of Ohio, the Beast, Barefoot. All my Chevrolet fans, let's hear it for number 2 man. Chevrolet fans, what about it?
Here comes Barefoot, Scott Hess. Oh, hang on, Scott is back on the hammer, and look at that run. Barefoot may have just done it. Barefoot may have just done it. The Beast in the other lane. The Beast driven by Bob Holman, but it looks like Barefoot may have just beaten the time turned in earlier by Bigfoot.
Chevrolet fans, Barefoot! He's tough. He's tough. What a run. What a run. Can you believe him watching? What a run.
And now staging Thumper 2, the youngest monster truck driver in the world, 16-year-old Clint Daggett out of Hudson, Florida. This is Thumper 2 of the 89 Ford, and alongside Nightmare, Steve Hess out of Columbia City, Indiana, with the 89 Chevy. The time to beat turned in by Barefoot with Scott Hess at 6.56. Andy Johnny Brass in Bigfoot is 6.60. So young 16-year-old Clint Daggett out of Hudson, Florida, in his second full season of monster truck competition, he has a real veteran alongside, but right now it looks like the youngster may have it. Oh! Look at the come from behind victory. Nightmare, Steve Hess. The youngster got the whole shot, but Steve Hess hammered down. He takes the victory. Steve Hess and Nightmare, Columbia City, Indiana, comes from behind to take the victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Hess. He's tough. He's tough. I'm talking about right now. Chevrolet fans, let's hear it for him one time. Steve, I'm going to tell you, you had about as straight a run as I've seen you make in a long time. You know, you make them up sideways and crossways. Did you feel good?
Yeah, this run felt real good. My qualifying run, we lost power in between the two set of cars. We're having some injection problems, but it ran real good on this run.
I'm going to tell you, but I'll tell you right now, you boys doing a fine job. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give him a big hand. Steve Hess out of Columbia City, Indiana, home state boy. He's tough. He's tough.
Now stage the heartbeat. Fred Engelman from Lowell, Michigan, the 89 Chevy. In the other lane, it's Hercules. Tim Tesmer, his first time in competition with this truck. The Hercules, powered by a 454 cubic inch Chevrolet. The heartbeat, a 431 big block Chevy. They are now shooting for the time turned in by Barefoot at 6.56. So Barefoot right now is quick. Bigfoot second fast at 6.60. And there's the green light. Here they come. Heartbeat out front. Bogs out just a bit between the cars. Completes the run, and some trouble now for Hercules. Hercules stuck between those two sets of junk cars. Here he comes to complete the run.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big hand. Brett Ingerman out of Lowell, Michigan. I'm going to tell you right now, this young man has been around monster trucking since monster trucking's been around. I'm going to tell you that right now. Brett, I tell you, that's a rough course out there.
It's very rough, one of the roughest ones I've ever been on. First round competition, both Bigfoot and Barefoot advance, so it's going to be a shootout perhaps between Ford and Chevrolet. But remember, through that first round, Barefoot was faster than Bigfoot. We've got a lot more coming your way, so stay with us.
All right.
Tonight, these fans call it the Thunderdome. We are ready for 4x4 modified pulling competition.
Here they are, side by side, truck pull drags. That's the Thunderdome, ladies and gentlemen, right here, Indianapolis, Indiana. James Fanning driving a 68 Jeep 612 cubic inches out of Derry, Pennsylvania.
Staging now, Tim Gilbert in the Motown Missile out of Gaines, Michigan. 572 cubic inch 1980 Chevrolet. Modified four-wheel drive truck competition side by side here in the Hoosier Dome.
Give a big hand right there. What about the boys? AWOL and Motown's Missile. These boys these ladies and gentlemen are tough. We got a lady in the Challenger out there, Pat Duff. She's tough.
In the far lane, there's a small change. The 1987 El Camino. Robert Minnick out of Winchester, Virginia. The near lane, the NASA Challenger, the lady driver. This is Pat Dubes. She is the wife of Dan Dubes, who has become very famous for driving the new Bigfoot Fast Tracks. Pat hails from Freeport, Illinois, in an 87 Ford Wedge. 540 cubic inches for the Challenger, 615 cubic inches for the 87 El Camino. Small change against NASA Challenger. Small change, one of the fastest ones in round one. Let's see if he can improve on the time. 35,000 pounds on the sled. But right now it's the Challenger with a good run. Will it be a full pull? Yes, 2 full pulls.
Good run. Let's give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Small change. And the Challenger, Pat Dove, the lady of the class, doing a wonderful job. The young lady doing a wonderful job right there. Pat Dove just doing a fine job.
In the far lane, the Enterprise, Jerry Carlton, in the Dodge minivan. It has an Aries engine, 750 cubic inches out of Ohio. Fourth, after the first round, was Tom Bim in the Stubborn Mule, an 88 GMC with a big block Chevy engine out of Glengarry, West Virginia. So the Stubborn Mule in the near lane was fourth after round one. He goes against the Enterprise of Jerry Carlton. Carlton now has stage first, the green light on the sled, watching for the Stubborn Mule of Tom Bim to stage. There's the green light. Here they are. Here they come. You hear the RPMs pick up in these power plants. And apparently there's a problem with the Stubborn Mule. The Stubborn Mule balks at the line, and a full pull for Jerry Carlton, the Enterprise. So the Stubborn Mule with Tom Bim has a problem at the starting line, never got out of the gate, and he was fourth after the first round. This one right here could be for all the marbles as we near the end of round two, and these two are your leaders after round one. In the near lane, Perpetual Motion, Harry DeCoulel Jr. out of Lowell, Indiana. He was leading after the first round. His time was 9.65, but riding second out of Gaines, Michigan with a clocking of 9.91 was Old Glory, Joe Gilbert. So the near lane, we'll see Perpetual Motion. The far lane, Old Glory. 1-2 after round one. Let's see what they can do. Old Glory gets the whole shot, and he is on the roll. Old Glory, Joe Gilbert, a great ride. A fine ride for Old Glory. But Perpetual Motion was the steam from the engine, less than a full pull. And I tell you, right now, Old Glory looks like he may be the guy to beat. The final run of round two will have Mind-Boggler in the near lane. This is Dan Harbour out of Columbia City, Indiana, in the 1968 Chevrolet. Going against in the far lane, the Battle Taxi. Brent Hyday out of Noblesville, Indiana. A pair of Hoosier boys. Ford against Chevrolet. The Battle Taxi, 640 cubic inches in the Ford. The Chevy, 640 cubic inches. And it looks like the Battle Taxi will have the advantage of full pull coming up to the Battle Taxi. And we're not sure that Mind-Boggler made it the full pull. But the Battle Taxi has a fine ride, a full pull.
I believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the man with the fastest time here tonight in a modified truck. The man out of the Buckeye State of Ohio. He's tough. Let's give him a big hand. Jerry Carlton, ladies and gentlemen, the Enterprise out of Manaway, Ohio.
The greatest competition of the evening. It is Barefoot against Bigfoot. Chevrolet against Ford. Barefoot with Scott Hess out of Auburn, Indiana, had the quickest time in the first round at 6.56. Bigfoot was just a tick behind at 6.60 as the crowd erupts. It's Ford against Chevy. Here they are. Look at the air of those trucks. Barefoot in trouble, almost on its side. How are they going to call it? They did not come down on the cars on the second group of junkers. How are they going to call it? How will the officials see it? Were both those trucks legal? We are waiting, you are waiting, and 50,000 people here in the Hoosier Dome are waiting. Who won it? Who won it? Ford or Chevrolet?
Neither one of them completed the course correctly. We're going to bring them back in 10 minutes for another run. Let's give them a big hand. What about it?
The officials had decided to bring him back for another run. Oh, my! Not once, but twice tonight in the Hoosier Dome. Bigfoot and Barefoot will go at it side by side. All right, lined up side by side. It's Heartbeat, Brett Engelman. Heartbeat in the far lane. In the near lane, Nightmare with Steve Hess. A pair of 1989 Chevrolets. Nightmare out of Columbia City, Indiana. Heartbeat out of Paul, Michigan. Here they are. Look at the air under Heartbeat. Heartbeat, but it looks like coming right at our cameras. Nightmare comes from behind to win it. Nightmare, Steve Hess out of Columbia City, Indiana. A 510 cubic inch flowing Chevrolet power plant in the 89 Chevrolet body. And Nightmare takes the victory in side-by-side competition in round 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, you think he can be a winner? Let's give him a big hand. Steve Hess, Nightmare 2.
As long as we bring you monster truck competition, you will never, ever see a better shootout than what you're going to see right here. The second time around. Barefoot, the Chevy. Bigfoot, the Ford. They went side by side. It was too close to call. The official said, go back, rest for 10 minutes, and do it again. Same lane. The far lane. It's Barefoot with Scott Hess. In the near lane, Bigfoot, Andy Brass. Barefoot, the Chevrolet. Bigfoot, the Ford. All right, here it is. Their times through the first round. Very close. Here they are. Here they are. Look at Andy Brass and Bigfoot. Andy Brass is in trouble. Andy Brass in trouble. Hang on, Andy. Oh, and he gets her stop as the fans down here start to back out of their seats. Oh, who won that one? Who won that one? The Ford fans say Bigfoot won it. The Chevy fans say Barefoot won it. Who won it? Are we going to do it again? How many times can these guys run and come down on all fours? We can see some damage under Barefoot, so he won't be able to run another time, at least for a while. Who won it? Who won it? Well, in the NFL, we had the instant replay. They could always check an official's decision. Well, right now, we're looking at the replay. The officials are trying to determine who will go into the championship round. Will it be Bigfoot or Barefoot? Bigfoot or Barefoot? Barefoot is the winner. Barefoot, the Chevrolet, takes the victory over Bigfoot. Barefoot with Scott Hess, the Hoosier from Auburn, Indiana, takes the victory in the 540 cubic inch by a matter of inches. Barefoot, the Chevrolet, defeats Bigfoot. So now it's Chevy against Chevy. Will it be Nightmare or Barefoot? We've got a lot more coming your way, so stay with us.
It's easy for you four-wheel and off-road fans to become part of one of America's fastest-growing motorsports series, the Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree Nationals. Whether you're into mud bogging or off-road twisting, turning, bumping, and grinding, or just want to show off your hot 4x4, the Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree National Series has it all. Be one of the thousands of off-roaders who have enjoyed our 3-day 4x4 party. Write to us at the Four-Wheel and Off-Road Jamboree National. P.O. Box 726, Indianapolis, Indiana. Or call us today at area code 317-236-6522. We're awarding over $30,000 in cash and prizes to participate at each Jamboree National. Monster goodie bags, cashback, and a great midway full of manufacturers with the latest development in off-road technology. Plus, you'll get a chance to talk tech with industry leaders and the staff of Four Wheel and Off-Road Magazine. Join us and be a part of it.
The Ford fans may go home disappointed this evening as the Chevrolet Barefoot knocks off Bigfoot in the semifinals. So now it's Chevy against Chevy. Will it be Nightmare or Barefoot? Let's go down and find out the championship round for the monster truck. The Ford fans have been disappointed because Bigfoot has been knocked off by Barefoot. So in the final, Scott Hess in Barefoot, the 1989 Chevrolet against Nightmare, the 1989 Chevy out of Columbia City, Indiana, Steve Hess. So a pair of Hoosiers, Steve Hess in Nightmare and Scott Hess in Barefoot. They're staring at 225 feet of Indiana clay and jump cars. Here they come, side by side. Look at the air on Nightmare. Nightmare takes the victory. Did you see the altitude of Nightmare? Nightmare may have set a Guinness Book of Records in clearing that second batch of cars. The air under Nightmare was incredible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner, Nightmare!
5 inches, Nightmare takes the victory for the monster trucks here in the Hoosier Dome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this young man has got to be proud of this moment.
I sure am. You know, Scott's a hell of a competitor, and I couldn't believe it. I don't know what happened, but I'm just glad to be on top.
Well, I'll tell you right now, he got off the cars on one side. You drove a good straight race. If you come back, got that fuel straightened out, and I'm going to tell you, young man, you had a fine show here tonight. We're mighty proud of you. The people in Indianapolis proud of you. Thank you very much. Steve Hess.
In what might have been one of the best races of the season, Barefoot knocked off Bigfoot in the semifinals, but then lost to Nightmare in the championship. Well, the racing is over, but the memories will last for a long time. So as the fans leave the Hoosier Dome, we'll say so long for Power Pack Motorsports. I'm Gary Lee. Thanks for joining us. So long from Indianapolis.